Welcome to another episode of What's Your Grind podcast. Today we have a very special guest in Darius Carter. What's up, Darius?
What's going on? Good morning. Good morning.
So Darius is a professional basketball player, originally from Akron, Ohio, and a Wichita State graduate. Just completed your 7th season overseas, correct? All right. Well, here at What's Your Grind podcast, we like to ask our guests what's their grind. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My grind right now, I mean, obviously you said I'm a professional basketball player, and that's a grind in itself. I'm a husband. That's a grind for sure. And I'm just, grinding to be happy.
Right.
Trying to find my happiness right now at this point in my life. I'm just focused on being happy,
Right.
what works for me and my loved ones and everything. So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we're all on that kind of like same journey of finding happiness and finding our niche and everything like that.
Absolutely.
Getting straight into it, you were a high school standout at Firestone High School, and you chose a similar route to, other student athletes going the JUCO route for your first 2 years in college. What made you choose that JUCO route?
That JUCO route was because I was a very lazy student. So obviously I didn't qualify coming out of high school because of my grades and everything. So I had to go the JUCO route. But I mean, honestly, it was probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me basketball wise, because JUCO it's a different grind.
Yeah.
It's a different grind. Those guys are hungry.
Right.
A lot of times it's guys that were overlooked by bigger schools, and it's just a different type of grind and hunger. And it made me who I am today. Definitely made me. I had some D1 offers out of high school, some lower D1s. A lot of MAC schools were offering me, Akron, Kent. But once I got to the JUCO level, that matured my game in a way that I didn't even know that I needed.
Right.
Then I got the opportunity to mature, get better, get stronger, get smarter. And I got to go to Wichita State, who was just coming off of a Final Four run as a mid-major school. So
that's huge.
yeah, it was huge for me and my game and my maturity. And I'm very thankful that I went that route. I tell a lot of guys, don't be scared to, a lot of people come out of high school and they just want to D1.
D1 or bust.
Don't be scared to, change your route up a little bit, because JUCO is a great opportunity for a lot of people, for sure.
Right. And what do you think the biggest difference from JUCO to D1?
The biggest difference, I would say, I mean, obviously the amenities, the facilities and the staff and everything you get being D1 was the biggest difference for me. And just a campus that was very supportive of us. Like in JUCO, I went to a really nice JUCO, Vincennes, Indiana, one of the best JUCOs in the nation. We had a decent campus for sure, but nobody really cared about the basketball team. And then going to Wichita State, where basketball.
Right.
Like there's no football team there.
Oh.
There's no football team. We were like the team there.
Right.
So we were almost like celebrity status. So me adjusting to eyes being on me everywhere I go, restaurant, everybody's recognizing, and store, and anywhere I went, people knew who I was.
Right.
So that was an adjustment, just
in itself.
Yeah, just knowing how to act.
Right.
Because people, I was still a kid, so I'm
Exactly.
doing kid things in public, being silly. But now I have all these eyes on me. I gotta, relax a little bit.
Right. And like you stated before, in the beginning, they were just coming off a Final Four run. Your first year, y'all went undefeated in conference, like lost one game. Nationally ranked. How was that experience in itself?
That experience was amazing. Definitely. I mean, losing one game in a season, that has to be fun, obviously, but just that whole season was just so fun. Like, we were just, that team that we had, everybody was just so close with each other, and like practice was fun. It got to the point where practice ended up being like an hour 20 every day. Like practice was cut short. We were just so locked in and so focused that season.
Right.
It was a crazy grind, and just we won all those games in a row, but everybody still had the mindset of we got to keep going.
We still hungry.
Yeah, we still hungry. Nobody was relaxing in practice and like, oh, we won 20 games in a row. We don't need to work hard. And nobody was like that. It was still every day we grind and going at it. Even if we would beat teams by like 4 that we should have beat by 20. And we're still like 25-0 or something like that. But everybody's just down and like, you know, it felt like a loss.
Right.
So everybody just had that hungry mentality, and it was such a fun year. Yeah. Very fun, yeah.
I bet. And then after graduating Wichita State, you prepared yourself to play professionally overseas. What went into all of that, your preparation for that?
Just working, honestly. And I realized the work that I was doing wasn't enough.
Right, for that next level.
Because when you get to professional basketball, you're playing against 30-year-old grown men strength. It's a whole different feel. And I'll be being a post player, it was tough at first to adjust to that, because I mean, we definitely lifted at Wichita. We had a great strength and conditioning program, but being able to try to match that grown man strength, like in the post and everything, is completely different. So I had to adjust my mentality with that. And I didn't really take it serious enough, because growing up, I didn't really know anybody that played over there. I didn't have anybody to, you know, tell me about how it is. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, this is probably going to be a little easier. It's not the NBA. It's not and then I get over there and it's dogs.
Right.
Dogs, grown men, dogs, hungry.
Trying to make it to the league.
Trying to make it, yeah. So it definitely opened my eyes my rookie season for sure.
What was your first thoughts when you went overseas?
My first thoughts, so I went to the Republic of Georgia, which nobody's probably ever even heard of.
I was just about to ask you, where is that?
It's by Russia.
Okay.
And that experience was very, very difficult for me. So I went to a team that was like newly in the Russian league, which is a really good league, the VTB. And, you know, the budget on this team was low. You know, the guys that we had weren't great. We really shouldn't have been competing in that league. But it was a good opportunity because I'm fresh out of college. I can play against these good teams.
Right.
And, I mean, we're getting destroyed by these teams. I mean, like, absolutely destroyed. It was, like, unbelievable how bad we were getting beat. And then that team ended up going bankrupt.
Oh, wow.
So we couldn't practice. They couldn't pay for our apartments. The team just completely lost all money. So from there, I'm out there, no money, no practice, not playing. I'm there by myself. I'm just panicking. Like, what now? Like, do I go home or like what? But luckily, my agent ended up finding me another job in Greece. So I ended up going to Greece from there. And Greece was a much better opportunity.
Totally different.
Yeah, the situation was definitely better.
So would you say that was like the hardest thing about being overseas, including, you know, you're over there, you don't have your family, your friends, and everything like that?
I think there is a handful of very difficult things to deal with over there.
Right.
That's definitely one of them. Just, you know, being used to what you're used to. Like D1 college students, spoiled.
Right.
You know, everybody, we got food, trainers, gear, you know, spoiled. You get over there and it's the complete opposite. Like you gotta find shoes, which sounds like okay, you gotta find shoes. That's not hard. But over there, the sizes and the websites and it's a completely different, because basketball is not really number one in Europe. So finding basketball shoes over there is actually really tough.
They got cleats for soccer.
Yeah. A lot of soccer gear.
Right.
Yeah.
So would you say that like being overseas and playing professionally over there, was there any type of like mental strain that you encountered during your time overseas? And even now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just like you said, being away from family and being in a totally new experience, different country, foreign country, you don't know the language, you don't really know the ins and outs of like where to go, where not to go. Like you know nothing, and they just throw you in that, and that could definitely be very mentally challenging. You know, especially with you going over there to play basketball.
Right.
Like you know, basketball is there's two things when you play a game: you're going to win or you're going to lose.
Right.
But those losses sometimes affect people so much because once you leave the gym, like if you don't have a girlfriend, if you don't have anybody over there with you, you just go home and you by yourself.
Right.
It's a time difference. You can't really talk to your family unless you stay up all night, but you can't really do that because you got practice in the morning. So you just sit over there and just mind goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just basketball, basketball, basketball. And it's just sometimes it's hard to separate those things, which is at this point in my career, I'm definitely focused in on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because basketball is going to be basketball.
Right.
Like, yes, it's my job, but at the end of the day, it's not life, you know? So just you got to find your happiness over there. Outside of that, you have to actually do something. You have to be, you know, indulge yourself in the culture.
Right.
Walk around and experience, because a lot of guys go over there and they mentally are still home. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of guys be over there and they're up till 4 or 5 in the morning talking to family, like still on American time. And then, you know, that's going to hinder your performance.
Right.
And you just got to just indulge yourself in the culture, experience new things, actually try to learn a little bit of the language and, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably make it, you know, easier to navigate when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Would you say that like the mental strains that you dealt with being a professional basketball player overseas ever hindered your game?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you know, I was home for a whole season with a with a knee injury and COVID hit. So, just with that, obviously that's more physical, but the mental part of that, just sitting at home and having no idea what's going to happen with your body or teams and if you're going to get a job and stuff like that, it's very, very mentally draining. I was ready to be done. That season that I was out for a year, I was ready to be done. I was completely off of basketball. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to go through that mental grind of it anymore. I was just ready to start something here and wrap it up, you know?
And what held you back? Or how did you like refine your love for the game somehow?
Just, you know, my family, they weren't pushing me to play, but constantly reminding me, like, you're young. You still got some game in you.
Right.
Like this is not the time for you to stop playing. You can still play. Mm-hmm. And they were just worried about me regretting it, especially my wife. She didn't want to see me stop and then regret it and just sit around like, I could have played a few more years and just thinking back to when it wasn't business. Just thinking about basketball as basketball, like you do when you're a kid. It's fun.
It's fun.
Just getting all the business out of it. And, you know, it just made me realize that I definitely still love the game.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's just things get rough with the business side of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And do you find it difficult being a man and opening up about the mental obstacles that go on overseas? I mean, even in the league, you know, just being a basketball player, and especially, you know, having the stigma of the Black community, being a Black man and opening up. What do you think about that?
I think that is all my life I've struggled with that. Mm-hmm. But I would say probably the last couple of years, I'm definitely doing better with that. I'm being able to get to the point where I could talk about how I feel about things, and I would give a lot of credit to my wife because before her, I had no one to share that with. It was just bottled up feelings that I didn't really know how to deal with. And now when you say these things out loud, when you say like, you know, I'm feeling this way, and you talk about why maybe you feel that way, you realize like, oh, maybe it's because of that. And I'm definitely doing a better job with that. But it's tough. Like you said, especially as a black man, we have to be so tough and strong all the time. But we don't. We don't have to. But that's just, you know, that's how we feel we have to be. So yeah, it gets tough, definitely.
Absolutely. And being over there, like you said, you said indulging yourself in the culture a little bit like that. What were some other things that helped you kind of navigate that system of being like mentally just not there all the time or struggling and, you know, missing your family, missing America?
I've been blessed to have great teammates who are still my friends to this day. And just, you know, being around them. I had a couple older guys that I'm really close with now, and they understood that you have to, what I was saying, like you have to indulge yourself, and they would just bring me out. Come on, we about to go do this. We about to go eat at this German restaurant. We gonna drink the tall beers. Like, you know, we gonna really be here. And that really, really, really helped. Really helped. Just having people in your life that'll just get you out your comfort zone a little bit.
Yeah. Has it ever gotten to a point where you've considered like, dang, I need to talk to someone about how I'm feeling?
Yes, definitely. I do think that I need some therapy. I think everybody needs therapy.
I think we
first
all
and
do.
Foremost. Yeah,
honestly, I tell everybody.
Yeah, we all got some things going on that we need to release. But you know, I give so much credit to my wife. She's that for me. I can just release and tell her everything that's going on. And I can't tell anybody else these things. Because I feel it'll be taken differently.
Or judged or
yeah.
You know. Yeah. So like you said, you're married, obviously, recently married. How did you navigate, or how was it navigating a relationship plus a marriage and being a professional basketball player overseas?
So our issue, I mean, it's not, I don't feel like it was difficult, but obviously every relationship and everything in life is going to have its problems. Our problem was, so I have practice all morning, sometimes twice a day, and she's just sitting at home over there.
So she's over there with you?
Yes. Last season was her first time being over there. So before that, it was a lot of issues just because.
And that's what I want to kind of tap on both of those, like her being there versus her not being there as well.
So last season was her first season being there, and that was such a blessing because just all the FaceTime and just the texting and the constant, you know, just the distance. The distance is not hard. I just want to say that. It's not hard because if you want to be with somebody and you want to do it, you get it done.
You find a way.
Just like anything. If you got a 6 a.m. flight, you out kicking it all night, you're going to make that flight. Like,
you're going to find a way.
Because you want to do it, right? You just got to find a way to do it. And I felt it was easy because we built so much trust with each other. It was like, and I would send her my practice schedule and everything, so there was no confusion of like what I was doing or where I was at and stuff like that. And it's just a communication thing for sure with the distance. Communication. And when she was with me last season, the problem we ran into, like I was saying, I had practice all morning, sometimes twice, and she's sitting at home all day. I come home exhausted, beat up. She's been in the house all day. So
ready to go.
Like, what we doing?
Let's go.
What we doing? I've been in the house all day. And I'm like, I'm about to go on the couch. So that part is just compromise. Like, okay, yeah, I'm tired, but some of these days we can go for a walk. Maybe we go eat lunch or something. I'm not that tired to where I can't do that. I just got to suck it up and do it and understand how she's feeling also, because that's difficult for her too. You know, she's used to being here with y'all, Y'all go do whatever. She got her friends, her family. She's over there by herself.
Right.
When I'm gone all the time, and she wants to do things, and I understand that it's a grind. So it's just a understanding of each other. Compromises.
Right.
Sometimes you're gonna have to do stuff you don't really want to. Vice versa. I mean, that's life. That's life.
Yeah.
If you choose to be with somebody forever, you're gonna have to figure a lot out.
Right.
Forever is a long time.
That's a really long time.
Yeah. So you just gotta figure things out.
Yeah.
That was really the most difficult thing for us.
Yeah.
But I give credit to her. She definitely understood when I was like, I'm tired. You see how I just limped in the house. I'm dragging my feet up the stairs. I can't. I don't got it. And
right.
She'll understand that. And she's got to the point where, she'll go on trips by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to a different city or something by herself, and she understands I'm tired, and I have no problem with that because I understand how it is. You're just sitting around here all day, ain't really got friends,
Right, and that's a grind in itself.
That's
like
very much a
she's
grind.
also in a foreign country, don't know the language.
Yeah,
She doesn't even have basketball to as an
Exactly.
outlet.
Yeah.
So balance for sure.
Just balance. Compromising and just caring.
Right.
That's really all it is. Just caring about your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would say for sure when she's over there with you, that eased a lot of the mental obstacles that you were dealing with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, just having somebody with you to talk to. Like I would come home so many days furious from practice, just mad.
Right.
And just come home, just spill it all out. Before I didn't have that. I would just go home and bottle it up.
Yeah.
And then it would just linger until I go to sleep. Can't sleep because I'm still thinking about practice 10 hours later,
Right.
And it's just good, It's good to have somebody over there.
How was the fan base out there?
So where I was in Spain, it was okay. It was okay. When I was in Germany, I loved the fans there.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely basketball junkies. Definitely. And like people would recognize me in like restaurants and stuff like that. It felt great.
Right.
Just to have that support from these people that don't even really know you.
Yeah. You just came to that country.
Right. Yeah. And these people are supporting me as kids coming up to me like, Carter. And it's like, it's so cool to experience that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said in the beginning, being a basketball standout, Firestone High School, how was your support from your family and your friends? Like, was y'all packing that joint out? Did they have cardboard boxes of your heads going around? Like, how was that?
In high school, I had crazy support.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because in high school, I was not a social person at all.
Okay.
I didn't go to parties. I didn't do anything. But I still had so much support from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, especially in my class, and still to this day, it was just always so much love from them. My family, obviously, super, super fans.
Right.
My family, yeah, super fans. My little sister in the crowd almost about to fight people because somebody says, crazy. Oh, man, definitely a lot of love from all my friends. Firestone, definitely.
I love that. Mm. So how did that support differ when going to college 14 hours away and now where you are about 4,000 miles away overseas? How did that support from your family and friends differ? And did that kind of like take any toll on you?
So when I went to Wichita, the support got insane. Mm-hmm. Now it was more than like my school and a couple people I know. It was the entire city because we're playing on TV. People know them. They wrote article about it in a paper when I signed to Wichita. Mm-hmm. So the love that I got at Wichita was insane. Mm-hmm. It's people, when I came home, people coming up to me I didn't even know.
Right. Like
I went to a concert one time, this guy, you're Darius Carter, Wichita State. I'm like, what? Like
here in Akron or out there?
In Akron, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what? How do you? People are recognizing me in airports. I'm in airports in different cities. I got the Shocker logo on my book bag. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you're number 12 for Wichita? And I'm just like, it was mind blowing.
Right.
Like it was almost like a celebrity status.
Right.
Which I also kind of didn't like because you know me, I'm very low key. I don't really I don't like all that attention. So it was a little much at times for sure. But it was crazy. It was crazy. And then going to Europe, obviously it lessened because those games are harder to watch.
Right.
It's harder to follow somebody when you don't really know like the websites and like where people are going.
Right.
Because like I said, I'm low key. I don't really blast like I'm going to play in Spain, like telling the world. So people are just don't know. So it's harder to follow, over there. But still the same love from my core for sure.
Because that's different. I mean, I know your senior year, you got to come back to the Q and play, what was that, Notre Dame, I think?
Notre Dame, Sweet 16.
Yeah, so, and I know being 14 hours away all that time, I know that joint was
I'm
packed
playing
out.
at the crib.
Yeah, I'm at home.
I've used up all the team tickets we had.
You gonna use those? All right, let me get those.
It wasn't even a question. We in Cleveland?
I just put my name
I'm all of them. Give me all them.
And the coaches too.
Yeah, all them tickets.
Let me get that.
No, I had so many people here. That was amazing to play. Like you said, I was playing so far away, and just to be able to play, I'm at the crib. I can play in front of my
last
family
year
and friends.
too.
Yeah, last year, Sweet 16, and I balled that game too. That was so fun.
Got to.
That was so fun.
Because it's a different feeling when moms and dad and sister and all my homies and everything. They're watching me.
Yeah,
they're looking for a show.
Yeah, for sure. And my parents and everybody, they used to drive. They used to drive 15 hours, come out there, Nebraska, Wichita. They was there driving.
Love it.
Yeah, and little rentals in snowstorms. Crazy. They
ain't play about you.
They was there. Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah. Everybody's like experience is different. I tell people all the time. Like I went to college 4 hours away. 3 hours away.
Right.
Like
so
I didn't get the same. Yeah, that's easy. That's down and back.
Right.
But like I know I had a teammate that her dad every week
there.
He up there.
Yeah.
And he was from DC too. So it was like, having my dad up there, and we kind of grew up together as well. So, but yeah, definitely. That's awesome, that's love,
to have that
man.
Support. Yeah, you need that.
For sure.
Definitely.
So kind of switching gears back to, I know you said, talked about your injuries and everything like that. Can you speak to how you navigated some of those situations, just kind of getting back? Did you have to, go through surgery, or was it just seeing the trainer, on top of having that mental bearing of like not having your friends and family with the same support all the time? Now it's injuries on top of it. So could you speak to that and how you navigated that a little bit?
I honestly, I had 2 pretty decent injuries in my pro career. I had a ruptured ligament in my wrist. So I got bridged. I went up to dunk and somebody like clipped my feet, and I went to try to catch myself. Got you. And this is completely detached from the bone. Jeez. That was my first surgery ever in my life. That one wasn't hard to deal with at all, because it's funny. This is when me and Jasmine were like,
your wife?
Yeah, my wife. We were dating, and she was coming to visit me for like 10 days. Her first day out there, I did this. And it was my first surgery ever, longest time I've ever been in the hospital, but she was there for it. So it was definitely, it wasn't as hard as it could have been. And I was in Germany, and Germany is amazing with, technology, surgeries, and everything. So they got my wrist healed up, connected like an anchor to my bone, put the ligament back on, hooked me all the way. I was back on the court 3 months.
Oh, that's easy money.
Right. But my knee, I had a partial tear in my quad tendon, which is not like really bad, but for some reason mine took so long to heal.
Got you.
And it was just, I had to find, because I was just itching to work out, but then every time I would do something, it would still hurt. So it was like I had to find that balance of rehab and working out, which was really tough for me.
Right.
Because every time I felt pain, it's like, am I going to rupture it again? I don't really know.
Right.
What, so that was mentally, it was pretty tough for me, for sure.
How did your injuries change your experience overseas?
It matured me, made me realize I have one body. I have to take care of this body.
Right.
Like with my knee, I want to be able to run around with my kids,
Right.
I don't want to destroy my body for this game. I have a lot of life to live after basketball.
Yep.
If I can't pick my kids up and jump around with them, that's going to kill me, So
right.
it made me realize I have to take care of my body.
Yeah.
Like extremely. By any means, I have to take care of this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And kind of looking towards the future, how has basketball connected you and set you up for life after professional sports?
Oh, basketball is obviously it's a team sport, and you have to work with so many different personalities and people.
Right.
Like basketball I've met so many different types of people through basketball. And now, Europeans, and just learning how to speak in a way that someone who doesn't fully understand English can understand.
Right.
And just communication skills and just understanding different cultures. And it's just, I think that's the most that you get from basketball, just people, learning how to deal with people and talk to people and, everything like that.
Yeah. How have you even begin to look at that other side? Like, if I'm not playing basketball, then what am I doing?
I have. So that season I had set out,
right.
Mentally I was really close to being done. So I started weighing my options. I think I want to do IT.
Okay.
Because I'm big into, computers and technology and stuff like that. Like I built a PC, I built a gaming PC, and I'm just very into things like that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's a bag there.
Oh, what?
It's a bag.
I tell people all the time, look at all this new technology that's come out. Somebody has to troubleshoot and teach people how to use all this stuff.
Right.
It's constantly new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
So it constantly has to be teaching and, stuff like that. It's so many opportunities in IT.
Oh, absolutely.
So many.
So what advice would you give current student athletes today that are interested in playing professionally overseas?
I would say wherever that you're considering going, wherever your agent is telling you that, you got interest offers, do your research. Make sure you understand some of the languages, understand what bread is or rice is, the stuff in grocery stores, the basic stuff. Understand what that stuff is and do your research on the guy who played in front of you the season before at your position. Look at his stats and what opportunities he got from that coach and everything, and then you'll understand what opportunities you'll have.
Right.
For sure. And just find your happiness. It's gonna be rough over there, but you gotta find your happiness outside of basketball.
Absolutely.
You have to be a happy person, even if y'all losing every game or the coach is on you every day. Once you leave that locker room, you gotta find your happiness. Because basketball, we always say basketball is life. Right. But it's not. Right. In reality. It's a lot of life you're gonna have to live after basketball. Yes. A lot of life. Yes. So you gotta find your happiness. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Darius, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming out and, sharing your story. I think you have an amazing story, and good luck to you this upcoming season. Do you know when you're heading back over?
Probably in 2 weeks.
Dang.
2 weeks.
Quick.
No, it'd be quick. Hey,
I know.
This
I
is the
already
most.
know.
Sometimes they'll tell you might sign on a Saturday. All right, well, yeah, we're gonna get you out here Wednesday. You're like, huh? I can't even go see my grandma. Like, what's going on?
Chance to say goodbye.
Yeah. So I was blessed to have 2 weeks, you know,
Yeah.
in advance. So yeah.
That's what's up. Well, yeah, I appreciate you. Please tell the people where to find you, social media, or whatever you want to share.
Yeah. Instagram, I think is dcarter12_. I believe so. And then the same for everything, actually. Yeah, dcarter12_, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for watching again. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Grind Season LLC and visit our website at www.grindseason.co.